Amici, amiche, lovely patrons, I hope you're feeling amazing today. As you can see, today I am welcoming you directly into my office since this is a follow-up to my previous video about the P.I.T and their methods of investigations. Indeed, in the previous video I mentioned a downfall, but I think that was not the correct term to use, as to this day they keep producing content on investigations and some, to use their words, are indeed scripted or edited, or at least that's what I understood. Since you were so kind to pay me a visit, and given that today we won't be tackling a specific location but many, I don't have anything special to offer in terms of food. But since I'm a good host, or at least I hope so, I decided to prepare for you a nice cappuccino, strictly to be consumed before 12 p.m. and, to be more specific, before lunch, to be paired with a nice slice of freshly made tiramisù. After all, who can say no to tiramisù? Mascarpone cream, Savoiardi cookies soaked in coffee, fresh eggs and a fine cacao powder to cover it all up. It will make this video sweet to the right precise amount. But if you are sweet as this tiramisu, and I know you are, I kindly ask you to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you still haven't done so, and if you are feeling extremely marvelous, then a share of this video will be extremely helpful. So thanks a lot in advance and let's proceed.
Well, time to spill the beans. Rope. Beans.
The last time we watched their investigation based on, to use a more polite term, a false lead, the legend of the girl who never existed. Of course, after that they produced many other videos and investigations presenting the same pattern as other wannabe investigators by using gimmicks, tools with the claim of detecting the paranormal, and most annoyingly by not doing a proper research or ignoring the facts surrounding the places they were investigating all at once. You know, in pure Ghost Adventure style. Without the fake possession, I would say. In any case, their popularity raised, and skeptics and real investigators rightfully were questioning their findings, as it seemed that in all their cases they were able to find an evidence in some way, shape or form. In other words, Paolo and Deborah, aka the P.I.T, a couple from Cuneo, Piemonte, was starting to get the attention of debunkers.
It's about damn time.
Needless to say that anyone with a normal observation skills and common sense could easily understand that their videos were very sensationalized, with little to nothing in regards of the application of the scientific method. No, wait, let me rephrase that. With no use of science, any science at all. So one day, precisely the 8th of July 2019, please keep in mind all the dates I will present you, as I do believe that they are very important. They published their investigation titled The House of the Cursed Dolls, and by just the title alone you can sniff the stench of manure. Smell it. Haunted dolls are indeed something that some investigators like to use and abuse to create some content or a false narrative. Anyway.
Benvenuti a un nuovo video del P.I.T. Stasera siamo un po' tesi perché inizia un'avventura davvero tosta. Aprite bene le orecchie perché la storia che vi racconteremo è davvero inquietante.
I wonder what they will come up with this time. Something along the line of Dirty Gertie and the Side-Eye Guy's most favorite haunted house guide, Steve?
They've heard German language.
This is the room where we heard Zig Heil.
Well, that's new. Steve didn't go that far when Colin came to visit. There's Tasteless when it comes to these fake claims, and then there's Steve.
And I don't know if it is more fun to watch Steve himself or the Side-Eye Guy slowly falling into insanity.
Forse per adesso vi basta sentir dire che ci troviamo alla casa delle bambole.
È una casa che a me ha messo personalmente i brividi già da fuori. Eravamo già venuti a fare un sopralluogo e pare che all'interno di questa casa vivesse un uomo la cui identità per ora è sconosciuta, perché anche guardando su internet non abbiamo trovato delle informazioni in merito.
We will discuss about this in a moment, trust me.
Ma una cosa è certa, che questo uomo adorava le bambole tant'è che all'interno di questa abitazione lui le costruiva, produceva bambole e burattini probabilmente. Qual è l'aspetto paranormale di questa vicenda? L'aspetto paranormale era che pare che questo uomo fosse diventato talmente ossessionato dalle bambole che costruiva che alcuni, soprattutto in paese, affermano che addirittura queste bambole possedevano una specie di maledizione, esatto, un'influenza particolare e negativa su, non so se l'abitazione in generale o sull'uomo, che comunque era diventato anche disabile, perché abbiamo potuto notare anche da una specie di rampa che c'è all'ingresso della casa, sì. Probabilmente serviva proprio per la sua condizione fisica.
Now, there is no trace or evidence about the history, therefore I must assume it's either made up or it was inspired by the movie Annabelle Creation, released on the 11th of August 2017. It talks about a tragic tale of a couple who loses their daughter and the father of the family is a doll maker. But that's where the similarities ends. And knowing how the P.I.T creates their background about their cases, it's safe to assume that this movie may have played a role. Let's not forget that thanks to the Conjuring movies in the 2010s especially, more specific the story of Annabelle, managed to raise the interest in people about haunted objects, especially haunted dolls.
Quindi noi non sappiamo nemmeno il nome, vero?
Zero, non c'è niente di niente, zero.
Dobbiamo indagare dall'inizio.
E addirittura pensate che non c'è neanche pubblicazione di questa cosa.
We don't have a single clue about the story of the doll maker, which I believe you invented it, but we do know that the villa or the mansion is in Boves, province of Cuneo. What a strange coincidence, not so far away from where you two live. And look what we found here, a nice article from Il Quotidiano Piemontese. This article talks about the place. Now, let me see, when was it published? 24th of April 2017, and it's based on another article by Samuele Silva in which he took few shots of the place dated on the 17th of April 2017.
Non c'è nulla. Infatti chi ci ha detto una dritta su dove fosse la casa si è visto bene da raccomandarsi che non uscisse fuori.
An article, a photo session, both dated in 2017, 2 years prior of your investigation. So much for the secrecy.
You broke my cover!
Not to mention that this place is basically next to your home. Their investigation continues, they find dolls, a lot of dolls, they get a bit scared, they play with their tools. Heck, they are also present in Gianmarco Zagato's video in the same place, not an investigator but more of an influencer I would say, to play the Red Book ritual with them. Yes, the same ritual I debunked over and over and over. Yes, it seems that I keep encountering channels that apparently lost to spice things up by toying around with a creepypasta.
What were they thinking?
In any case, the story about the doll maker raised few eyebrows and was enough to allow the Ghost Hunters team and another channel, YTFC, to dig around a little bit, and they finally decided to unmask them and call out their fakery once and for all. YTFC managed even to get in touch with the ex-owner of the place that was abandoned somewhere at the beginning of the mid-2000s, early 2010s, and the lady basically explained the truth about the villa. To sum things up, no doll maker ever existed as shown in this video. Wait, why the video is not visible anymore? Heck, not even the one from the Ghost Hunters team. What is going on? My assumption is that the information discussed in both videos, I watched them both not long ago, before they were taken down of course, were not solid enough. In regards of the validity of the testimony of the woman interviewed by YTFC and the allegation that the P.I.T placed the dolls there in the first place. Turns out, as already seen in the article mentioned above, that the dolls were there way before the P.I.T arrived. And the woman herself was actually the caretaker of the house more than the owner. Okay, they got some parts wrong, but the GHTA accusation or complaints were aimed towards the fact that the content produced by the P.I.T was just sensationalized and it was giving a bad reputation to real paranormal investigators. And I agree on that 100%, and you know it. Vox Populi, I'd like to hear your version of the story, so if you watch this video, please get in touch with me. In any case, whether right or wrong, these two videos created a wave that couldn't be ignored by Paolo and Debbie, so much so that they decided to inform that some content they were making was indeed created with the purpose of entertainment. In another video dated on the 2nd of October 2021 titled "Is Debbie Pregnant?" Spoiler, she wasn't. They tackle once again the question asked by many people, whether the content they make is fake or not.
You were just making it look like you were playing. You're a phony! Hey, this guy's a great big phony!
Scusate, ma voi fate i fake? Questo è bellissimo. Io pensavo di aprire in realtà una rubrica sul mio canale chiamandola Rispondo ai commenti degli haters.
And what do you know? We got a couple haters.
You have a genuine question about our work? A doubt? You are an hater. Must be this way. Come on, Paolo, this is actually a legit question, although, considering your history, it should not even be asked. You're right, as the answer is a big enormous yes.
Perché di solito chi chiede questa cosa qua è già quello che... Tu maestrino dei miei stivali.
E vai a cacare.
And a great attempt to turn the tables around. Epic. Don't blame yourself for being sketchy. No. Blame the people who point out the elephant in the room.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Il fulcro del nostro canale è farvi passare un quarto d'ora spensierata
Sì, l'abbiamo già detto.
e farvi provare un sacco di emozioni. La magia del cinema è proprio quella, no?
Ti posso dire una cosa?
Ma certo.
Ma vaffanculo va!
Che ti fa vivere delle emozioni enormi, che a quel punto non diventa più importante sapere quanto la macchina del cinema ha lavorato per creare quella roba. È bello godersi quei minuti e dire wow, che bello, è come una canzone.
So basically what you are suggesting here is that your content is totally fake? Thanks for admitting it.
Viviamo sulla nostra pelle delle emozioni che cerchiamo di trasmettervi.
Ovviamente, raga, certo, un'emozione può essere enfatizzata. Noi enfatizziamo tanto.
Yeah, we noticed that. Sometimes even too much.
Molti ci dicono: perché mettete sempre la musica? Mettiamo la musica perché in quel momento non è successo un cazzo.
Here I disagree. Usually you put the music when something is happening, exactly to emphasize the alleged paranormal phenomenon that just occurred. Especially when one of your toys goes off.
Poi, per quanto riguarda se facciamo fake o non fake, raga, ci sono dei video che e chiaramente non possono essere video reali.
So now you're implying that some of your videos are real?
Poi ci sono invece degli altri video, tipo proprio le indagini.
Okay, there was a hard cut and I believe that this part was removed because A, you have no example that corroborate your statement. B, you pointed out investigations that were so fake that the only intelligent things to do was to remove this part all at once, ending up with the investigation of certain places
Che facciamo in determinati luoghi, che quello che vedete è il sunto di ore che noi siamo lì dentro, ok? Dove in questo sunto, in questo montaggio, cerchiamo solo di enfatizzare, quindi farvi provare, perché c'è uno schermo di mezzo fra noi e voi, farvi provare a pieno, a 100% quello che stiamo facendo e vivendo noi all'interno di un luogo abbandonato, all'interno di un piuttosto infestato che sia.
One thing is to emphasize, heck, even real paranormal investigators do that sometimes. Another thing is to completely fake stuff. And that's not emphasizing, that's being dishonest. Especially when you claim that what you see is real.
Noi facciamo intrattenimento horror perché siamo su una piattaforma di intrattenimento.
No shit, Sherlock.
It's kind of misleading, so you're admitting that all you do is fake or just some, as you said before, decide.
Fate una bella cosa, prendete tutti i video che facciamo come intrattenimento, così almeno vi godete l'intrattenimento che avete deciso di vedere.
You know what you can do? Put a bloody disclaimer in every video stating that this is just for entertainment then. Do that, nobody will bother you with questions anymore. At this point, I'm more confused than anything else. So, are you 100% horror content creators, or are you partially investigators and partially horror content creators? For the sake of this video, I will assume that you are partially paranormal investigators or fully paranormal investigators. Heck, you even wrote a book on the topic titled The Voice of the Spirits, where you write and discuss about your experiences. And since I am a maestrino dei tuoi stivali, as you said,
Maestrino dei miei stivali.
in the description it's not stated anywhere that you are horror content creators, so I hope you won't mind if I give you my educated opinion on a couple of more investigations you made. They went to the Conjuring house as well before it was the final destination for real-life drama. In here they basically describe the misadventure of the Perron family, quoting as well the 2013 movie, and they talk about my favorite couple of con artists of all time, the Warrens. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. They believe that the Warrens were for real. Worth mentioning is that Paolo emphasized the fact that once they entered the property they had strong feelings about the place. Now, let's focus on a couple of findings they made during this investigation, shall we?
Io ho sempre l'ansia di usare sto coso perché è tutto così amplificato, cioè sento il vostro respiro.
She feels anxious, of course. Power of autosuggestion, I assume. And she mentioned that the EVP recorder captures also other people's breathing, so probably it's best to use it when nobody's around, I would say. You are in a very old house, and I bet it's almost entirely out of wood. Well, unless you don't go and investigate the source, spoiler, they don't, I classify it as a normal sound, the exact type of sounds to be expected from old houses.
Rumore. Sì, rumore percepito.
And I want to underline that it doesn't sound like steps at all. Well, do you want to do something about it and check the source, or you want to stare at the ceiling for a bit longer? Ah, you are emphasizing. Sorry, my bad.
Temperatura.
A temperature shift was detected, so talk about numbers, please.
Misura.
Temperatura.
Yeah, so much for putting music only when nothing happens. Okay, what's the temperature then?
C'è una variazione. 5 gradi.
5 degrees Celsius? In an old house? Especially when this reading is done very close to an unlit fireplace, where most likely the air flows through the chimney? It's not an evidence, actually it's kinda to be expected. Oh, but yeah, I remembered. Emphasis. Important.
Maestrino dei miei stivali.
And of course, it's time for the Ouija board session, because why not? So they can emphasize a little more, of course. Okay, let's watch the result. Wow, This is something I would expect if people are putting their fingers on a planchette and they let the idiomotor effect to kick in, creating the result of a senseless amount of circles and doodle. And then to proceed to figure out the meaning of this masterpiece, of course, to emphasize. Now let's move to a more recent investigation. Still in the States, and to be precise, they are on Route 66, in the vicinity of Ottman, Arizona, if I am correct, on the most dangerous trait of this iconic American road, or as they call it,
Sulla Route 66.
Storica, Route 66.
66, important. Is this how I sound to you guys? They are describing that this trait is famous for being very dangerous and a lot of people lost their lives due to car crashes. So please, whoever drives on this strait at night especially, be cautious and drive slow and safe. I'm not kidding. Anyway, they go to a precise spot.
Guarda dove vi portiamo, P.I.T femmini. Non ti avvicinare però troppo alle rocce perché ci sono I serpenti a sonagli.
Yeah, the real danger of this place, rattlesnakes. That's probably the only time I would ever agree with you, Debbie. Good call though.
Ragazzi, io ho la pelle d'oca.
Cioè che posto è praticamente un cimitero.
Ho la pelle d'oca, ragazzi. Ho la pelle d'oca.
Un cimitero.
Paolo, if you would have spent 1 minute, just one bloody minute to do a quick research on the web of this place, you would have immediately discovered the information that this is no graveyard. The spot is called Sitgreaves Pass, and Jackie Rowland, vice president of the Ottoman Chamber of Commerce, said that the grave markers actually are memorials to deceased people whose remains are scattered at the site. Fun fact, this is a popular stopping point because one can see the states of Arizona, California and Nevada from there. So the question is, did they find ghosts? Of course they did, and for this upcoming part I had to bring in the big guns. Andrew Stonerock was very kind to offer his help for this part. Andrew is a person I recommend everyone to follow, so if you're interested, please go to his channel and send him some love. Link, as always, in the description.
Comunque, in questo cimitero stavo dicendo, scusatemi, in questa zona alcuni nostri colleghi dicono che le anime di queste persone morte su questa strada si facciano realmente sentire.
So, ghosts in this area, not in the graveyard of course, made their presence known according to some colleagues? I believe that these are the type of colleagues you're talking about, right? Okay, so how they make themselves heard then?
What's your name?
Si è alzato un vento.
Vero?
Yeah, we can hear that, and I bet that the wind comes and goes in that specific area quite often.
Are you a girl? Cos'è?
Are you a girl?
Sì.
E se hai notato è cessato il vento.
Davide, that's his name by the way, are you implying that the sudden absence of wind in an area like this is a sign of a ghostly presence? Mind checking your pants? The wind is still blowing, not as strong as before, I agree, but still is blowing. You know, that's actually how wind works sometimes.
Are you a girl? Can you hear me?
Domanda, ma sei fermato per tu?
No,
Non lo so, non c'è nessuno.
Io ho sentito davvero dei passi.
Anch'io ho sentito dei passi.
Sei una donna? Sì, sento
Battere così.
Option A, you're making these sounds, or option B, as Andrew suggested, these are sampled sounds.
Casa. Casa. Casa.
Era una voce.
Era una voce.
Ma non era una voce di donna?
No, questa è una voce di un uomo.
So, this voice, Andrew suggested that it may sound like it is saying walk of shame, and he cleverly pointed out that the accent seems not to be American, straightening, of course, the idea that samples have been used in this part.
Questa era la voce di un uomo.
Raga, guardate il tuono.
C'è nessuno, niente.
Post-editing.
Si è mosso qualcosa lì davanti a me. Forse l'ho filmato.
Allontanati. Potrebbe anche essere un serpente.
I'm glad to notice that when real danger is involved, you actually stop with this bullshit emphasizing, as you call it, sorry, and actually provide a genuine, natural explanation.
Aspetta, ma è un bambino!
Oh, come on, this is totally a sample. After the sampling session is over and to avoid any more rattlesnakes, they decided to jump in their car, turn on their Spirit Box app and let the Pareidolia Fest begins by emphasizing and spitting out a huge load of senseless statement in regards of what they hear. Nothing interesting and nothing that you guys ever heard before, and I don't see the point of debunking once again another Spirit Box session. Dear beloved patrons, we reached, I'm afraid, the end of another video. And now it starts one of my favorite parts in which I ask you for your thoughts, your opinion. What do you think about it? Do you think as well that they should put a disclaimer in every single video informing the viewers that their content is just for entertainment purposes? Are you confused as well whether we have to consider them horror content creators or so-called paranormal investigators? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and once again, thanks for spending this time with me. It's always a great pleasure. Very well then, I wish you a fantastic rest of the day, or of the week, of course. As always, stay healthy, eat well, and I see you all the next time. Ciao!